Let's continue with the cross-examination.
I think we press this. We might press this, and we might call out Maki or Machi. Because Machi clearly knows something about them. And he was super scared when we showed it to him, and he didn't want to talk about it.
Just how strict is customs check?
Way strict. They keep planes on the ground for hours. I do recall it being a bit extreme. They were even confiscating gumdrops and marshmallows.
Yes, it would be hard to distinguish them. That's right, Gavin was in Virginia, wasn't he?
I remember setting off all metal detector all the times. I had to practice strip naked and walk through.
Here's a travel tip for you, Javin. Leave the building at home, you glimmerous fuck.
Leave the bling at home. Leave the bling at home, dude, or at least put it in a box to take with you. Don't wear it to the airport. I'm just scrolling around.
Okay. What were your thoughts?
Well, I think this last statement might be important. Like, he said, hey, man, if there's a way to get cocoons out there, I'd sure like to know. And I'm guessing if we press this, we might get something. Maybe this is the one that we get. Because clearly someone from there had to bring it somehow.
You're in a position to know quite a bit about smuggling.
Yeah, I need to know a bit for work, sure. But all we get are reports on the failed smuggling ops. Not exactly something you want to go copy. But if you want, I can tell you a few of them. Maybe you'll succeed and get rich.
I would be interested in hearing, purely from a legal perspective, of course. I weep for our judicial system. The replica has to be the key to this motive. There's got to be a way to find out what he was up to.
The last three statements are different.
Everything and everyone gets checked. So even him?
The guitar case! The guitar Gavin got! It was sealed up completely! The guitar case was also taken!
So he had to get into the guitar case.
No! It's not that one! Come on!
Okay,
No!
Shiro genius. We're 1-1 in this case for aha moments. I would have never got the guitar.
At least I'm pretty sure that's got to be where it was.
No, that has to be the answer because remember he said he had it sealed airtight.
Airtight and like there's no. Oh wait, no.
Airtight.
This one.
Yeah.
Objection!
Yes.
Actually, there is one way.
What?
One way to get something out of the country, no checks. Because it would ruin the guitar. What is it?
Wait. Lemoire might be in on it then. Like, she's the one that gave him the guitar.
I think that...
Either that or they came up with this plan after she agreed to, like, whoever was packing it up help put it in there.
No, she can't see. It's our blonde boy that's in on it. He had the switch.
True. But I more mean, like, I don't know, like, what inspired her to give him the guitar, though.
Honestly, it could have been, like... It could have been one incident with our boy there giving her the idea, right? He was also playing at the restaurant on piano, right? They're a duo. They're always together.
Yeah.
You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor?
Wait.
Yeah.
Don't tell me Gavin knew.
I don't think Clavier knew shit about it.
But he probably at this point realizes it was in the guitar, which is why it was stolen. To get it out. I don't believe it.
Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it you told me about yesterday at your office?
Played leveling for many years. If you know the women like Lamar. Oh my gosh.
They vacuum packed it in the studio. And he transported evidence.
Pristine and untouched.
Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched?
Quite. Car was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. That pack was untouched until the day of the concert.
And so you need the key.
Are you saying that my guitar was?
With cocoons this small, it would be very easy to use a guitar as a meal to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I will admit, I didn't predict the way it was happening though.
Because
I get the big brains for the gunshot. You get the big brains for this one.
But whatever line was mentioning, like, I forget exactly what they said, but it's like, hold on a second. There's one thing that came from Virginia that would have gotten past the checks, and that would have been this guitar case.
What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin. That guitar had some work done on it recently, right? Work?
Good memory, Air Forehead. Sound ho. Broken device of sort.
A broken device? An igniter? Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if that igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean...
He means this, of course.
Ah! There was a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use Picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. I just got something. Our Interpol agent managed to track him down, had some proof in his hand with keys, and was going to shoot him. And he said, "It's over, pull the trigger," knowing that it would have blown the guitar up. He probably had to pull the trigger from down there, right? Or tell him to pull the trigger, right? Or in some sense. Or he had the evidence at the time. And that caught the gunshot scuffle, right? So if that... I think he found something specific. Or maybe he thought the Fabergé, like the cocoon on him, was the real one. Wait, where's the real cocoon then? I don't think he has it.
We don't know.
No, I don't think he has it, because he went back to the venue to look. And then he went to her, and then would have whacked her out if she confiscated or knew where it was. So he doesn't have the cocoon.
So who has it then?
I think it's well hidden somewhere.
Or
Question is...
what if the one we have is actually the real one? It just has a sample stamp on it.
No way. That'd be so funny.
Here, it sped through this, so there you go.
And who better than to have someone who has access, like a member of a band?
Yo! Ah!
Order, order, order. So the igniter...
was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems.
It was a safety precaution. A precaution?
Ah, Air Forehead. At last it all comes together.
Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Might show the gentle sounds of Lambert's ballade, if you please.
First, my keys were stolen, a harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case.
He was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see. But things didn't go so well. Smuggler wasn't counting on the guitar being wrapped. Only a member of the band could get near that case. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler.
So it was burned then. It was in the guitar and it had to burn because they couldn't get it out in time then. Because the guitar was wrapped until Gavin took it out.
Yeah.
So and they couldn't just take off the wrap and get to the cocoons because it would be extremely suspicious for Gavin to open it up and it'd be unwrapped.
So they blew up the cocoon at that moment.
So that's why the guitar had to be burned.
What's that? Mr. Latouche.
Mr. Latouche was an undercover agent. One was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. You'd only have to check the shipping record.
So Mr. Latouche
tried to examine the guitar himself. Or did Latouche steal the keys then?
He had him in his hand.
They could have been planted too, though.
If the cocoon were confiscated then, the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was get rid of the whole lot.
It's over. Press the switch, now.
And that caused our boy to press the switch. And then... Mr. Latouche died.
Was Lamar there to witness it?
There's your case. That's not it. That's not it.
Brilliant, man.
Detective Crescent.
Gotta know. That makes all... What, you all make that up on the fly? For a made-up story. Makes a great deal of sense, Darian. The Republic of Virginia? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Let's see you make up a story for that kid. How to hide a cocoon in the first place, huh? You had an accomplice.
Not so hard to imagine. You had help, a Virginian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lamar heard proves it.
So, press the switch now.
You made the transmission from backstage.
While your co-conspirator was on stage.
But who was it? This is it, the coup de grace. And for once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him.
Machi. It's 100% Machi.
Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say, then. But be warned. With a great accusation comes great responsibility. Make your answer on the fly, as it were, and you'll be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice? There's only one person who meets all the requirements of the accomplice. And that person is the defendant, Machu Tobai. But Mr. Justice, he's your client.
Yes, and I'm accusing him of this, but he is not guilty of murder, which is why we're here. This will all prove it. Defense attorney accusing his client, and that's a new one.
I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I am here to defend him in the murder of Lister Latouche. And I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent of that particular crime. Indeed, the defendant is Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. But what if it was in fact Lamar? It couldn't have been. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Electronic signals? Recall that this remote only works on a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that's true. Now, think back to the testimony. When the shooter made his transmission, Lamar was in the air vent. Right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that remote couldn't reach from that air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Lamar still could have done the deed. No, when the shooter made the transmission, the stage was slightly different as shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar serenade. Platform raised. Prosecutor Gavin and Lamar standing were in the air. They were on a tower which happened to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the remote couldn't have worked from Lamar's position in the air vent. Ah. Well, Detective Cassand, what do you say to that?
Your Honor.
That's not it.
He's not done yet. Can we see that video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time.
Oh, well, I don't see why not. What? Don't tell me he has a way out of this.
Haha. Too bad, so sad, punk.
Punk. First you were sleeves, then kid, now punk. You're losing rank fast, Apollo. What exactly were we supposed to see in this video?
Problem isn't in what we see, correct, Darian? Right, is what you hear. We're musicians after all.
Care to explain for us non-musicians?
Sure thing, punk. Let me get you yarn straight first. Saying I ordered the we pianist to set off the igniter. That right?
Yes.
Well, in order to do that, we'd have to press a switch. Am I right?
Oh, he's playing the piano.
So, is the piano off too at that moment?
The piano's on.
No, I mean the off key. Did he miss a key to press it?
If it was off key, they wouldn't be so happy about it.
Right there. So it's a little bit after. It's not right immediate. So it's 4, right?
Yeah, 4 is the piano. right there. There's kind of a gap, but
He's also not playing very fast, so it's very easy to just be able to hit something else at the time.
pay attention to the piano. Let's do it. It's the same moment. He's playing while the thing is lighting. And you have to hold it, right?
No, I think you just have to click it.
I think it's a hold.
Because
If it's a hold, we have an issue.
no, I think it's just a click because it sends it. You click it, it sends a signal to the thing, and that will ignite it. We don't
What
know.
seems to be the problem here?
We don't know for sure what exactly how it works.
The piano sounded just fine.
Yeah, and that's the problem, Judge. And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it?
Ah.
How's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? Got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The one with hands-free was Diva.
Lamar.
But according to you, she could have not been the accomplice, could she?
Ugh.
Your accomplice,
I'm thinking aloud in this
your
one.
accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. They couldn't even press a switch. That face of apology. The video doesn't show her when it clicks.
The piano plays non-stop.
So yeah, I think maybe it was tucked into a key that he was supposed to hit at that only at that moment.
The switch was in the piano, and it was on a note. Right? So remember when she went along the keyboard, it was doom, right? Well, Mr. Justice, the piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire.
I skipped over that.
Well,
You
skipped over
it's
again.
okay. We all make a mistake sometimes.
Apollo, were you wrong? I can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. How could it all just...
Strange.
What's strange?
No, it's just something's odd about that performance there.
Odd.
Is he gonna say there was a sound that shouldn't be there?
Like an improvised key, like a note off? Mr. Justice, if Machi Tabai didn't press that switch, then he could not be the accomplice you claim he is. But everything points to it. Every fact that says he's the accomplice.
You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire. But the pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of holes.
Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant Machi Tobias the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you've said here. Give it some thought. Apollo, if Machi's not the accomplice, then our whole case is ruined. I know that. It has to be him. He was the only one who could have helped that smuggler. He had to have pressed that switch. Well, you better find a way to prove it. What do I do? What do I do? There has to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd. Wait a sec.
Anything that we haven't used that might... I don't think so. I think we've used pretty much everything.
Yep. It's in the mix box.
I wish I could, like, back it up just slightly. Right there. It sounded like he hit multiple keys at once. Right there. It's like he hit multiple keys at once.
Like there's an extra note.
Yeah, it sounded like there was way more than it should have.
What, you thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? Not much to go off of, but it's all I've got. What exactly did he hear that was odd? Have you come up with something, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove Machitabai pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machitabai pressed that switch?
I think we can. We have to. We have no other way.
Do it. I don't know if you call this proof, per se. Well, I could prove it was possible.
Then, as prosecutor, it falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Forehead, you sure about this? Ha! Accept it. There's no evidence, man.
Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed the switch?
I think we're going with this, right?
Yeah. The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? That's only the piano part around the time when the switch is to be pressed. Right before the guitar bursts into flame.
See? It's like he hit an extra key in that brief moment.
Huh. I hear a piano being played. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah. But doesn't it sound kind of simple?
Ah, I think I know what it is he's suggesting. You think Machi could have played a part with one hand?
I think I mentioned that a while back. Like doom doom doom. One hand? You only needed one hand to press that switch. You could play the piano with the other.
Ha! What? So you some kind of piano savant?
Actually, no.
Then what do you know? Can't play a part like that with one hand.
Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy. Yeah, you got something? Mr. Wright, your father, he's a pianist. Could he... Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands.
So sorry. So sad for you.
No, not really.
Huh?
That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way.
Man, how are you gonna prove whether he played it with 1 or 2 hands? You can't.
I admit it'll be rather difficult to prove. But it's highly likely he was playing with 1 hand.
How do you know that?
The clue is what Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song.
No way.
Well, it seems like we've come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand. Right before the guitar burst into flame. Monty was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire. And one section of the song proves it. Here we go.
It was right in there. This one where we have to pick a very specific part of the song is very dumb.
Yeah.
This is so dumb.
Remember, he has to take his hand off, right? So he's doing a note, and then bam, he takes his hand off. And then 1 second later, he puts his hand back on. Listen to the thing from the start, okay?
Okay. This is so dumb. We're not musically inclined people. How are we supposed to tell?
Listen to the whole thing from the start, with one being mid. So, between that section, right there, he takes his hand off.
Hold on. Oh, the gunshot's in that spot. We're in the wrong section. Yeah, because that's where the gunshot is. We were in the wrong section.
Can you turn it up for number one real quick so I hear the gunshot?
So I was just in the wrong section. Yeah, because there's no gunshot there. So yeah, we're just in the wrong section.
Right there.
Well,
you hear that doom?
That's just a gunshot. The click didn't happen at the same time as the gunshot.
No, go back. It's at the end of the third bar. Press play, turn one down.
Oh yeah, it kind of did dip down there.
Could have sworn that was it. Listen to the fourth bar too, just in case, because he has to return his hand back as well.
I'm looking up the exact position. Screw this.
No, man, this is fun.
No, I'm not having fun.
I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun.
Are you serious? This game sucks.
Tell me where it is. Was it where we were?
No.
Was it in the fourth bar?
All the arts this time, leaving the force 1B, present the first segment of the song. It's the very first segment it wants. It doesn't want where the thing happened. It wants the part that sounds like a song. This sucks. Because what the thing's saying is it wants you to do it here. This game's so stupid.
Was it the entire thing?
The entire
Gavin, I'm sure you realized by now.
Anywhere in the first section is what it wanted. Anywhere in the first section. It didn't matter. It made us think it wanted where the guitar went up. Because that's the most important spot. But no, it doesn't care about that. It just where it's like, oh yeah, he's in the first section, you can hear he's playing it with one hand. Easy. Alright, you want to read that again so I'm not complaining?
I'm sure you've realized by now just what it was that sounded odd to you.
As I'm sure you realized it yourself, there, forehead.
Realized what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the "but a fleeting melody" phrase.
Dun 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 dun. Man. How many times do we have to listen to the same thing?
You're right. Enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar bursts in flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in a first verse. Pay attention to "Oh, that night in your embrace."
I can kind of hear it there.
All those added notes. Ah, play verse 2 again. He's missing that doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. Doom doom.
Yeah, okay, I get it, game. I get it, but I'm not musically inclined. How am I supposed to hear that?
They feel the same, true.
So the second one is just missing just that little bit of stuff. It's just missing that little bit of tone there.
But they're clearly very different.
What?
Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple. But the same phrase in verse 2 has high and low notes. You'd have to use two hands to play that for sure. Ah!
What's that proof?
I would think you'd like to know that by now.
This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. The two verses had different arrangements. Happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. That wasn't the point. I had him play it specifically the piano. So I had him play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different? I asked myself.
Now ask yourself why Matthew changed how he played, and there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Order. I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, quite. Though personally, this comes as a terrible disappointment.
What, no comeback? I can't believe it. I finally did it. I shut him up. Very well. Barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter.
Good show, Sleaze. No, great show.
It's not over? I don't like when it looks so happy.
You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing. Personally, I'm terribly disappointed. In you, Air Forehead.
Huh? Me?
Yes, don't get me wrong. Your case is solid. Facts all check out. But even now,
No definitive proof.
you have to show a single piece of decisive evidence.
This is what I was worried about at the start of the day. I could not pin anything to him.
Yeah, but... oh, wait, no, that's you.
Yeah, but the facts. Anyone could see it was him. Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But... 1,000 facts might point towards the same conclusion. But without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system. I don't believe it. Does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present.
Oh, I think if we did, we'd already seen it a long way back.
It's unfortunate, but at present, this court is unable to acknowledge your accusation. What? What? The truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Apollo, remember what Daddy said?
Yeah, he said we're gonna have to play dirty. Do we just
Conventional.
do we have to get him to talk?
I think we have to blow him up some way.
I'm seriously fearing this is about to go down the Furio Tigre route where we're getting him to say something he shouldn't.
Yep. Find Daring Crescen's igniter and set it off. What do I about every man's igniter? I think he just meant the weak spot, no? The kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion.
Can we ask him about his shoulder?
I actually think we'll either talk about his shoulder, or we'll talk about the Chief Justice's sick son. I won't be able to press him further by conventional means. I've got to find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal.
So, can I get back to work now or what? I may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to pretend to play play with this deadweight attorney.
Well, Mr. Justice, we've come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go. Every man has an igniter.
Huh?
Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin?
You keep saying professor, and I just laugh.
I know.
Ah, yes. Good guitars are kept dry, is why. It provides the best sound.
Even a small spark could cause irreplaceable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning.
What?
Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, he'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo.
Was a tactical save along the way.
Tactical eggs.
And we'll put it in both my slots. What is this igniter supposed to come up and burn me up? That's most poetic there, Mr. Attorney. All the better. I'm rather fond of poetry. And I intend to hear one through to the very end. Airforehead. You're accusing this man, Darian Kassen, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Latouze and the smuggling of Borginian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case.
This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice, this will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood? Yes, Your Honor. Then let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Darian Crescent. Okay, this is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Darian Crescent's plan is...
Oh my gosh.
the magician?
What would the magician
just
have to do with it?
It's just a weird thought. The magician knew everything that was happening, and he was passing around the hallways at the time. Right? He was up there on the stand as it happened, though, so that doesn't put him there. If we call if we call her, she can't give us anything new because she already testified to everything she heard at the incident. She mentioned the ticking clock, but that doesn't help us. Right. And the two guys heavily breathing. Wait.
What if we just call Machi up and have, like, Machi tell us the truth now?
That is feasible, but again, not definitive proof. It's still a witness statement, right? We could ask Machi where the hell he went when he ended up on the stage.
Yeah, we still haven't discussed, like, him being on the knocked out on the stage at all.
That final step, right? There's got to be a big mistake there. On the way up as well. Because he had to move an entire body, right? There had to be enough blood loss on that body to carry a body all the way through. We have the earpiece, which could have been his, which could have his data on it, right? Why else would he touch an earpiece? I say call a witness and see what happens when we call Mochi.
Yeah, because that's one thing I was thinking. It's like, what if we do? Because, well, actually, it does kind of make sense because Machi's the only person that knows anything of this plan. If Machi talks, he's screwed.
Yeah. Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence.
Huh? So what is?
It's true that I couldn't show decisive evidence. But perhaps what I needed to prove my case was something else.
You mean a witness?
Because he censored him at the last second. Proving his guilt is a tall order.
We don't know if he actually tried to kill him because, like, if you try to kill him...
No, he didn't try to kill him, but he silenced him at the end of the phone booth at the end, and we got nothing from it.
I couldn't remember.
But I got just the person to do it. Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who could prove Darian Crescent's guilt? The one person who can prove Darian Crescent's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tobai. Your client, again? Machi Tobai was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Darian Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that one who plotted to smuggle the cocoon is the real criminal in the case. How so? It would require just one of the very cocoons Mr. Latus was looking for. With the cooperation of the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would, in doubt, find inside the burnt-out guitar. Ah, very scientific of you. Thus, if Machi Tobai acknowledges his agreement with Varian Crescend concerning the attempted smuggling of Virginian cocoon...
But here's the thing, at this point, it's like, oh, all Machi has to do is say, yeah, I worked with him. Yep, I totally did. That gets him a not guilty verdict, but, like, that's not...
They have to go verify it, too.
Yeah, they'd have to go verify that.
The case is solved. Darian's laughing again.
Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really like to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to.
Why not?
The little key tickler won't acknowledge anything. Especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling.
He'd go back and die. What's all this about?
Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Virginian law.
Ah.
Yeah, see? If our pianist really was a smuggler, testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking.
But you're wrong, Detective Crescent.
What?
It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble.
Mm-hmm. It goes both ways. It's either which way do we want to go here? Huh? How?
Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws.
All that's true. It's not illegal here.
You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country. The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Virginia.
And they're likely broadcasting our dealings today in court, including the part about the Virginian cocoon. Yeah, but...
But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Virginian police. And it's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not going to find him guilty of murder here. Not now.
This is a clever way to do it, but I'm not sure I really like it. I mean, it makes sense.
Works.
It's a workaround, but come on.
It's akin to that workaround in one of the first few games where he literally had the hitman say, "Hey, you either get found guilty or you die." From the hitman.
You can't accuse me.
Maybe the law doesn't allow it. But who's going to think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobai.
Yeah, that's a good point. The court of law can say you're not guilty, but then there's a court of public opinion. And if we go back to the original game Case 4, that's what happened to Yanni Yogi, is he was declared not guilty by the courts, but in the public eyes, he was guilty as heck.
The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan. Machi Tobai knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him. And that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling.
Don't worry there. I'll get you out of this country. I'll set you up someplace. A hidden mansion. Real nice. You want a house made out of cookies? Oh no. Or no. A house made out of pianos. Come on. Is he trying to bribe the kid? Please.
Ragnarok.
Diane, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked.
I'm guessing we can't treat that outburst as a confession. Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's kind of a sick desperation in it now, though.
Now here's the thing: we didn't have to bring Machi up, so Machi hasn't admitted anything yet. Machi can be like, "Nope, I wasn't involved. Actually, but he admitted the crime, so I'm good."
Well, have you been listening to today's trial?
Yes.
And you'll talk? You'll tell this court everything? I didn't want it to turn out this way. But I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime.
Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know? I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew from the beginning. I knew.
Machi.
Situation. I cannot explain, but money. I need it. Very much money.
Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However,
It has become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard.
should another case of this sort suffice, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machi Tobai,
Yes?
I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regard to the current charges of murder of listener Mr. Latros, this court is prepared to announce a verdict.
Oh! I thank you. You took the glasses off. It's a nice
Look at
green
that
eyes.
face.
I only lie. But you see truth. You find truth.
That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Machi Tobai.
Woo! Confetti!
That was a long-ass trial 3. Court is adjourned.
July 10th, 4:42 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2.
I wonder what'll happen to Machi. Well, he did smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. I guess there'll be another trial here.
All's well that ends well.
Daddy.
I owe you both my thanks.
Lamore.
My, is something wrong?
I'm sorry, Machi was your partner on stage, your friend.
Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do. Yet, something got a hold of him. Something evil. I see that. And he must pay for what he's done.
Damn it.
Is that not how it should be?
I'm still sorry.
Do not be sorry. You have given me courage.
Courage?
I consider it an eye operation. It was my suggestion, actually.
You mean you'll be able to see again?
It's funny. I have been afraid of the light. Light seems too harsh, so unforgiving. According to the doctor, Lemore lost her sight due to some kind of accident.
An accident?
As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that, if I could see. Perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I was scared. You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth. The light returns to my eyes. I think I will take up painting.
Painting? That's right, she's a landscape painter in sound, after all.
I will paint the two of you, I promise.
Woohoo, I can't wait, Lemore.
Oh, you my thanks too, Apollo.
Thanks, Mr. Wright, but for what?
You reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is.
Right, your secret mission.
Apollo, Druzy, I hope that we will meet again someday soon.
You bet, me too. And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on and on until it came to an end. Thanks to the trial. The guitar serenade was a huge hit. But Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad, have them catch the killer at the end.
Good grief.